The woman, I think her name is Estella, she proposed to her man after 14 years living in his parents' house and multiple children. She proposed to him. Now, on her page, she posted pictures and video of everything. And there's one picture or video, I can't remember, where she's showing his ring off to the camera, and he's got his face turned. And she made this smart ass video. And she's like, if you're going to take the time and energy to make a video about me, don't block me. Because since you're going to take the time and energy to do it, I want to support you and see your video and like it. Honey, the joke is on you. It's not on us making content about this so that we can teach the people who watch and support our content not to make the same mistake. Y'all know about whataboutism, how people, well, what about this? Well, what about that? And they just reach beyond the point. There was a woman on another video who said that she had been with her man for over a decade, and they've had kids, and they couldn't get married because sometimes life just happens, because they had a family member in the hospital and blase whoop-de-woo. If you can go to the grocery store, you can go to the courthouse and get a marriage license. If you can go run an errand, you got 15-30 minutes to run down to the courthouse and get married. Y'all are just with these bum ass men who don't really want to be with y'all. They're with y'all because they are benefiting in some way. They're with y'all because they are too fucking lazy to establish a life of their own. And y'all settled. That is what's going on. I have known of people who have had relatives die and they still got married, had a memorial for them, a moment of silence at the wedding, and then, then took care of business after the wedding was over. My ancestors, Black folks, still got married through some of the most horrific times in their lives. Y'all are just with men who are making excuses that you're accepting. Two things are going to happen with the Estella situation. Either that wedding is never going to happen, and he's going to say, you proposed to me. I didn't say I wanted to do this. This is what you wanted. I didn't say I wanted to do this. Or the wedding is going to happen, but it's going to take forever, and she's going to have to drag him along every step of the way. She's going to have to force him to go get a tux. She's going to have to force him to go to the cake tasting. He might not even go. He's not going to care. She's going to plan and pay for everything. And then that's how they're going to spend the next 14 years of their relationship, however much longer. His body language in the video she posted showing his ring off, he doesn't even take this seriously. Now, the only exception that I could kind of understand is there was a celebrity who proposed to her man, but that was after so long of her constantly turning him down and constantly saying no to him because, she just didn't want to be bothered with marriage at that point. So he was just like, okay, fine, I'm going to leave it up to you then. I still wouldn't propose to a man, but in that situation, I could see. And he was happy to be finally getting married to her. But we know that's not the case here. We absolutely know that's not the case here. And I hate to be a bitch. Actually, no, I don't. I'm going to go ahead and clown this dude because I've seen him and I know what time he's on. He is no catch. Estella is leaps and bounds better than him. You live, you learn, but sometimes we do need to stop and have the discussion of what we could do better so we cannot repeat the mistake again. She could have taken that 14 years, and as one of my mutuals said, she could have gone back to school. She could have established a career. She could have got a government job and been 6 years away from retirement. In that amount of time, she could have gotten some type of assistance to help her get her own place. She could have been on a waiting list somewhere, and she could have established her life and been on her own and had the opportunity to actually be with somebody who was on the same page as her. I want women to get out of this mindset of sunken cost theory. Well, I've already spent so much time with him. I already have kids with him. We have history. I may as well stay with him. I don't care how long y'all have been together. I need you to be okay with picking up your shit and leaving. You can do it. It might not be easy for you. It might be very stressful. There might be a lot of hurdles to jump over. There might be obstacles that you will have to get through, but you can do it and you will be fine. And you do not need a man that bad. Also, let me add this. If you're living with family, marriage does not need to be on your mind. If your partner is now having to live with you, with your family, marriage does not need to be on your mind. You do not need to be moving in with his parents. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I can see if it's an emergency situation. Let's say, my son, him and his wife are together and something happens and they need a temporary place to stay and I can't afford a hotel or something. Sure, they can stay here. But this is not going to be home for you and your significant other. It can be home for you while you get your shit together. But this is not home for y'all. Okay? Same goes for my daughter if she gets with a man. They can go back where they came from before y'all got together, but they ain't living here. I've heard too many horror stories, too many arguments, too much stuff going on. I'm not doing it. You think you're going to bring somebody else in here? Oh, no. No. That might be the thing in other countries, but we're not in other countries. We're here. And let's not be stupid. We know what this is. I would rather blade by blade use a pair of tweezers to plant grass on a football field than to ever propose to a man. You have low self-esteem because there's no way it should be 14 years and several kids later. No way. And I don't know you personally, but this is a story I've heard so many times. And it's the same type of woman. I've even heard a woman say, well, if he won't propose to me, then I'll propose to him. Honey, he's telling you what he wants by not proposing to you. Stop letting these men push your boundaries. Y'all get together, y'all discuss, y'all agree upon a time that you want to be married. And that time comes, it's over. Because he's playing you. He is playing in your face. And either you let him or you put your foot down and you move on. But this, absolutely not. We don't get to this point. We pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and build a life for ourselves. Because Estella, she could do a million times better. And I hate this for her.